Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello. We are the representatives of Insoft who would like to explain about COVID-19 and its consequences to global economics. First, I would like to introduce to you all about what is COVID-19. Coronavirus or COVID-19 first appeared in China at the end of 2019. All over the world, we were facing many issues. One of them were financial complications. This means many people were being unable to pay debt over the short and long term, and it causes financial management and limits purchasing power. Next, we will explain about a government decision to maintain current level of production, even though the energy prices are falling down, is tremendously difficult. Next, we will explain about the occurrence of financial market volatility. It is a statistically measure of the dispersion of returns for a given security or market index that has been decreased. We will move to the next slide, which will explain about the business industry which is most affected and least affected.
The point that we wanted to highlight here are the most and least affected business industries. As the result for our research, we found that airlines, casinos and gaming, leisure facilities, auto part and equipment, oil and gasoline are the most affected business industries, while property and casualty insurance, healthcare REITs, multi-line insurance, life and health insurance, and industrial REITs are categorized as least affected business industries. The median PD for airlines as of March 1, 2020 is 9.84%, and for casinos and gaming, 6.41%, for leisure and facilities, 5.64%, auto parts and equipment, 8.57%, and lastly, for oil and gas drilling, 9.1%. As we can see here, the percentage for every business rose at the end of the month. Next is the least affected business industries. Most of them is obviously a health-related business. From the timetable, you can see that the percentage didn't give that much different from 1 March to 31st March.
Alright, now I will continue with industry that most affected ongoing impact of COVID-19 pandemic. Based on the data in the previous slide, airline industry show up for the most affected industry. There are several consequences of the decline of the airline industry. The first one is revenue streams became paralyzed as the operator of aircraft had to be shut down for a while. Aircraft staff such as pilots and flight attendants were unemployed for a very long time. Subsequently, labor queues were ordered to take leave from their duties. At aircraft, they just worked as baggage handlers, wheelchair attendants, cabin cleaners, and skycaps. Many are paid minimum wage, and now they are having lack of sources of income. Moreover, I would like to notify you that there are also factors that influencing the decline of airline industry. Firstly, airports were closed. Airlines faced serious predicament when no one booked for flight tickets due to a government order to stop the spread of COVID-19 through air travel. Secondly, deliveries of new aircraft were delayed. The world's commercial transport planes are stranded when most countries closed their borders or imposed strict quarantine at the height of the crisis. Thirdly, aircraft production was also suspended. Airline halted production at most of factories as plane makers worked to reduce the risk of coronavirus transmission on the assembly line. Therefore, government has taken their action to solve all these problems. They give flexibility to the company to operate in stages and adhere to SOP. People can also apply for various assistance and initiatives outlined in the economic stimulus package announced by the government. Meanwhile, industry that is affected is industrial REIT. REIT stands for a Real Estate Investment Trust. It is a company that owns income-producing real estate. REITs have many types of commercial real estate, such as office and apartment buildings to warehouses, hospitals, shopping centers, hotels, and commercial forests. Some REITs are involved in real estate financing. For your attention, factor that influencing the deterioration of industrial REIT is the launch of the project was delayed. This happened because construction operation had to be stopped in accordance with SOPs, and for sure they suffered losses because the project could not be completed on target and is slowing down investment returns. Nevertheless, government will compensate investors who suffer financial losses in certain circumstances.
The negative impacts of COVID-19 pandemic include workers laid off, sales plummeted, salaries are deducted, and unpaid salary. Thus, the conclusions include COVID-19 continues to have strong impact on the economy. We must put forth relentless efforts to fight this pandemic and try our best to live well. Our government is doing its best to overcome this COVID-19 pandemic by focusing on the health of the people as well as stabilizing the economy. COVID-19 is a loss that involves a huge economic downturn to the country, and it can be seen when many people are involved with financial problems. Despite this COVID-19 crisis that makes people struggle in life, making people lighthearted even with a little conscience also could help them from time to time. Therefore, we can create a small charity fund for the people in need around the residential area as well as the village area. In addition, we have to support businesses that are just starting so that they have the spirit to pursue new income.